Hello everyone! My name is Yaroslav Burchenko. I'm a financial analyst at Olymp Trade, and today I bring you the richest man in Babylon, the secrets of the first millionaire. We will guide you through a solid process of money management today with examples and stories. I'm sure it will be interesting and fun. Let's get started. To create wealth, save money, and invest it wisely. There are only a few people getting rich. Why is that? Because some save every single penny, while others spend everything they earn on trinkets. You need to not only save money, but also know how to use it wisely. The first step is to start saving. Lead an economical lifestyle. Reduce the cost of pleasures. Spend the weekend not in Paris, but on the countryside, or replace expensive toilet paper with ordinary. But this is still not enough to become rich. You need to look for investment opportunities. Money that is simply hidden does not increase in price. Even at the bank, they're bringing you insignificant interest. Money that is invested makes a profit. Stuff like stocks, government bonds, startups, these are the top revenue creating investment opportunities. If done correctly, your savings will grow without any extra effort on your part. Invest wisely. Trust your savings only to people who know how to use them. Don't lend money to a lumberjack that is opening up a diamond shop, a diamond business. Financially successful people are always ready to admit they know little. Do you consider yourself a competent person? Or smart? If so, you will be surprised. There is a great philosopher, Socrates. He said, "I know that I know nothing." That is, a truly wise person understands and admits that he knows very little. With each grain of knowledge, new areas of ignorance open up. This is a fact. Let me give you an example. Having studied the basics of the theory of relativity, we inevitably encounter its more complex and realize that we still don't understand very much. We feel even more ignorant than before. Most people don't realize how little they know, especially in the field of finance. Many people can hardly calculate compound interest, but they're striving forward with a modest knowledge base, not having studied an area they know absolutely nothing about. Let me give you an example. Having studied some of the basics of high-risk investing in high-risk mortgages, some people thought that this was enough to make a fortune. And as expected, they began to fail in 2008. Because they neglected to study the stability and the riskiness of such a financial instrument. By delving deeper and deeper into the study of finance, you can take advantage of the ignorance of the majority of the people. You can try to identify investment opportunities earlier than other people and try to get in ahead of time into more profitable transactions. This leads us to the next talking point. Wealth builds up slowly, and inevitably we have to go through the trial and error process. Many dream to get rich overnight, but this is only possible in lotteries. Gaining wealth is a long-term process consisting of many teeny tiny steps forward and several steps back as well. Why does it take so long? Well, because the world is constantly changing, especially the financial world. You can't just choose one strategy, for example, to invest in certain stocks, and sit back and just receive all that money. The financial system is unstable, and sooner or later there's something going to happen, like a stock market crash. And you have to adapt to this new situation. You have to learn new strategies, you have to experiment with them and possibly fail several times. And as soon as you have a winning option, something will happen again, something will change. Something always changes. So through gaining experience, you will learn to invest wisely. And this trial and error method is very similar to the scientific process. Failed experiments can be very useful. If you've invested and failed, for example in high-risk mortgages, you will learn how to make more effective investments in the future. This method involves making mistakes. The main thing is that the mistakes are small, and do not invest money that you cannot afford to lose in risky enterprises. Here's our next talking point. Do not work for money. Money should work for you. Ask yourself, is there a difference between making money and gaining wealth? Most people think not, but there is a difference. Making money, you work for the money, whereas gaining wealth, the money works for you. Imagine you work as a factory manager and you get a good salary every month. You earn money, but you do not gain wealth. To do this, you need to save the money and then invest the money, putting aside part of the income and say investing it in real estate. You can achieve wealth. In this case, the money will work for you and not vice versa. To earn money means to achieve short-term financial success. You usually only think about, what you can buy using the next salary. The future is of little concern to you, but the next salary may not be there. Achieving wealth is a long-term goal. Let me give you an example. A property that you have purchased won't bring you immediate wealth. You first need to pay back the investment, wait for it to increase its value, find people to rent the property. It will take some time. But when real estate begins to generate income, it will do so as long as you are the owner. Long-term planning will protect you in the case of unforeseen events, for example, the loss of work. Investments that pay you off with the interest can be very profitable. When you borrow money, for example, you take a loan for a training course, most likely you need to pay interest on it. You will have to pay for these resources. And conversely, when you lend money out, when you buy bonds, you lend money, you get the interest. This is one of the main ways to achieve wealth. Money is the same resources as employees or raw materials or manufacturing. So imagine you open up a factory. What do you need for this, right? Raw materials for the products that you're going to produce, labor for the manufacturing of these products, and technology. You will have to pay for these resources, but capital is still needed. Money for the construction of the plant is needed, so money is also a resource that needs to be considered. To attract employees, you need to offer a decent salary. To attract capital, you need to offer investors interest. Investors or interest for an investor is an attractive way to create wealth. Over time, you can increase your income by earning extra increase on a percentage. Let me give you an example. So you're investing $100,000 in a new business. The owner pays you the original amount plus 10%. So now you have $110,000. Then you reinvest the entire amount into another business under the same conditions. As a result, now you get $121,000. Your interest has increased. So your money not only works tirelessly for you, but it constantly improves on this matter. Here's one key moment I'd also like to talk about with you guys. Luck. Opportunity is a source of luck. Many people think that luck is a random occurrence. But is it always? Let me give you an example. You've been trading hard for several months and you are participating in a tennis competition. You win the competition by hitting the top edge of the net with the ball so it bounces over to the other side, and your opponent doesn't have an opportunity to react, to hit the ball. Luck? No, you deserve this luck. Speaking of random luck, people mean chance. Chance is something random and uncontrollable, like winning a lottery or getting struck by lightning. Luck is not accidental. Luck must be earned by hard labor. How do you make yourself more successful? Well, you need to constantly look for opportunities to improve your well-being. An example, an entrepreneur is looking for new technologies for consumers. So they're studying, they spend time every day looking at the different trends, the global financial situation, communicating with investors. One day, he finds that 3D televisions are the next big thing. They're projected to be a long-lasting trend, and on the same day, he hears about an inventor who discovered a way to make cheap 3D TVs at half the usual price. The entrepreneur takes this opportunity, hires the investor, and begins to make TVs, becomes very successful. Hard work, mindfulness, and the search for opportunities are the prerequisites of good luck. Work tirelessly to discover new opportunities and use them immediately. The Boy Scout motto is to get ready and to stick to the opportunities to generate wealth. A mission of opportunities is the cause of failure. Why do people give up on opportunities? Often it's because they put them in the long drawer. I'll get to that later. When I'll have time, I'll think about it. Let me give you an example. If the same entrepreneur decided to not invest in the technologies of 3D television, but to wait until they prove themselves properly, the inventor would surely find another investor, right? So don't wait for the opportunity to be served on a silver platter. Take the initiative and don't miss it. To increase this flow of opportunities, you need to work. Explore different areas of interest. Create a network where you can quickly identify and evaluate opportunity. Brilliant opportunities are very rare, even if you work really hard. So we'll have to wait. And this may disappoint you, as it seems that if your hard work does not bring results, you get upset over it. But your patience will pay off when that opportunity arises. Another example, a businessman invented a radio that does not require electricity to function. He works hard at improving this product, and then he seeks investors. He goes to one investor and they refuse him, saying, nobody listens to the radio. He gets disappointed, but continues to search. Goes to another investor, gets let down, another one, and then suddenly, one investor discovers that his product is ideal for developing countries with poor energy infrastructure. The product ultimately is a huge success. The entrepreneur's patience is paid off. Moving on. Think rationally. Don't take loans. Why do some people go bankrupt? They make irrational financial decisions. How do you avoid this? Well, you make all your decisions about expenses with a realistic assessment of your personal needs and your financial circumstances. So I'll give you an example. You want to buy a luxury car. The fact is you don't need it, and the purchase will set you back financially, and maybe you may even need a large loan with unfavorable conditions. You should not buy it, that's to say the least, but let's say you did. Now you spend most of your time paying off the interest, and then you have to pay off the debt. You can't afford it, so you take another loan to pay off the previous loan. Now you find yourself in a perpetual debt circle. Taking a loan is a very bad idea, guys. When you have a loan, you can't save up money to invest and create yourself wealth. Instead, you have to spend your time to pay off the debt. Surprisingly, it could actually harm debtors themselves or creditors themselves, because they deprive debtors of the opportunity to increase their wealth, and that also makes them financially unstable, and that makes them a very difficult person who will not pay off their debt, most likely. This is a nightmare for every lender. A recent example is the Eurozone crisis. Greece was heavily indebted to the European Union, and instead of investing their money in their own infrastructure to build hospitals, schools, roads, which will eventually lead to their long-term success, they had to pay off debt with the European Central Bank. Now, without these investments, the country will never achieve wealth in order to fully repay debt. This can lead to defaults that puts both parties at risk, in a difficult position. Sometimes creditors should suspend debt payments so that debtors can get back on their feet. So the most important thing, guys, is save. Never take a loan to buy a luxury item. It will be difficult for you to get rid of such a heavy load. If you desperately want something you cannot afford, save money. Invest part of your earnings wisely. Do not waste all of your earnings immediately, but set aside part of the funds so that you can invest them, for example, in stocks or bonds. Money then will start working for you, earning you interest. However, do it wisely. Do not give your trust to beginners or amateurs. Don't give them your savings. No matter how attractive the opportunity may seem, if the person with who you trust is inexperienced, then the investment will be unsuccessful. Only work with people who know what they are doing. My name is Yaroslav Burchenko. Thank you guys for your time. We, together with Olymp Trade, wish you good luck investing out there.